Raquan, Watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Mashiach Malak Yabushai. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach Malak Yabushai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, and presenting their body as a living sacrifice. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent and abounded in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwaf out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands if they have them, being submissive, being diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom, shalom. This will be a quick cold cut. 7 women shall take hold of one man, right? 7 women shall take hold of one man. And if you aren't aware, this is found in the book of Isaiah, right? Let's go to Isaiah, the 4th chapter. 7 women shall take hold of one man. There's a controversy. You know, we have to figure out what this is talking about. Some brothers are saying, well, maybe this is talking about the elect coming to Yahweh Shai. Is this talking about the 7 churches? You know, is it talking about actual women? So we're going to figure this thing out. All right, through the spirit and power, Salakia, of Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai. All right, Isaiah chapter 4:1. It reads, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now, what day is this talking about? This day is speaking about the days of destruction, the days of all hell breaking loose, the days of Jacob's trouble, the days of being a pilgrim on the earth, the days of an economic collapse, the days of a famine, the days of massive pestilence, the days when the sound of the grinding is low and there is no work in Babylon, man, or work in Egypt. This is the day that it's speaking about. Now, you want to go to the previous chapter to show why the Most High is actually making this statement or putting this prophecy out there, because this is a judgment on the wicked of our people, man, chiefly the woman, right? So when you go to Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, and I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but it gives you what the daughters of Zion are into, right? This Isaiah chapter 3:16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Yeah, this is your women that say, yeah, I'm a bad bee. I don't need no man. Right? I got it. I can get it, but I can do bad all by myself. I'm an independent black woman. These are the women who want to be IG models, OnlyFans, not submissive to their husbands, don't need a man, just into materialistic fashion, designer, damn lace fronts, weaves, fake eyelashes, BBLs, want to be the next rapper, be the next damn Beyonce, don't take care of their children. You know, this is what these are those women right here, right? These are those women, the women that won't submit to a man. Proud, haughty, you know, that's what this means. Walk with the stretched forth necks. You might hold it, you know, you might be trying to be polite. You know, a sister might have dropped something, you know, from her purse or her wallet. You may be trying to pick it up. Hey, look, sis, you know, you dropped your wallet. I don't need no man, right? I got a boyfriend. You can't afford me. Hold on, sister, you just dropped your wallet. Oh, okay. You know, you try to hold the door, you know, for somebody. They walk past you, they look you up and down. You can't afford me type of spirit. I don't need a man kind of spirit. I'm going to abort this baby. He not messing up my life kind of spirit. Let's read on. And there was this video of this woman twerking at the abortion clinic. You know, we did a cold cut on that maybe 3 years ago, It's maybe 3 years old, 4 years old, you know, and she had green hair, and she was in there twerking and dancing, and she had a sodomite cheering her on about aborting her baby, right? So the Most High is gonna have to humble a lot of women, man. You got women that fight their husbands. You got women that beat them up. You got women that don't take correction, that don't take order, who run their mouth, you know, who breed confusion, adulterers. Let's read on. Therefore the Lord, verse 17. Therefore the Lord, Salakia, will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. So the Most High is going to expose them, man. That's what it means, discover their secret parts. Right? The Most High is going to reveal all of the evil and the wickedness of our women, man. And you had men that came out, and you had men like the Most High put the spirit on certain men to be able to breed all of the evil and the confusion that our women bring. You had that guy, that man Kevin Samuels. You had other men like that really the Most High put on the forefront to discover the secret parts, along with men of the Lord who have been putting that out there, that our women need to repent and come back to the Most High. You know, verse 18. And that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their claws, and their round tires like the moon. So those are your head wraps, your expensive jewelry, your clothes, your Birkin bags, your designer this and designer that. Don't you know that the days draw nigh when the Most High is going to have a lot of our women out here looking destroyed, man? Busted, how they say. There's not going to be any deodorant. You're not going to have any tampons, any maxi pads. You're not going to have any fake eyelashes, weave, lace fronts, wigs, sew-ins. You're not going to be able to brush your teeth, man, and put on 10,000 pounds of makeup. There's actual videos I've seen of the daughters of Zion. They do a video. They look like one person, and then they show how they turn into another person with makeup. And it's not like a little makeup. They turn completely into another person, man. You got daughters of Zion that sell their bodies. You got daughters of Zion that are strippers, whores, prostitutes. You know? I saw this one music video. They showed it on Twitter, and you know, somebody commented and said, hey, look, man, this is probably the saddest thing that they saw. And the lyrics behind that video, it was outrageous, to say the least. So the Most High has to humble a lot of our women because they're in a system where they're over the man. The so-called white man has set up the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman over the man. They're more likely to get hired. These are stats you can look up. They're more likely to make more money. They receive benefits and gifts without the need of having a husband. They're more likely to be successful and go to college. And the world pretty much has the woman set up on a pedestal. So the Most High has to bring the Israelite woman back down to be beneath under her man, because the Most High has to make the woman submit, because she's not going to submit. There's no fear, and if the shoe don't fit you, then we're not, you know, it's not addressed to you. You know, but nevertheless, the so-called black woman is trying to be like the so-called white woman and separate from her husband, separate from the so-called black man. And there was a time when they struggled together, man. You still have so-called marriages and relationships like that. But now the so-called black woman, she feel like she's a goddess. You got these men, or you're a goddess. You're a queen. You my earth. Right? The black queen, you Egyptian, dark skin, Nefertiti. And you got these men being a demon, man. You know, and it's going to a lot of these the daughters of Zion had. And Esau is giving them gifts, and they have got completely puffed up. They're listening to these songs from Beyonce and these rappers and singers telling them they don't need a man. You could do it by yourself. You know? Their mother, who used to be a whore, and her grandmother, who was a whore, are telling them advice that their mother told them. Play the field. You know? Live your life. Wait till you're about 35 to have kids. Get your degree first. Get your master's, and then you can settle down. These are the things that they're telling them, huh? You know? They're telling us that I'm going to get back to the scripture. I'm on a rant right now. You know, but I'm going to go back. But the point is, you got the women, they're going to college, and it's no sin to go to college. But what is happening at these schools, man? They're freaking off. They're laying down with multiple men. 3 men their freshman year. Maybe 2 guys their sophomore year. You know? Maybe 1 guy their junior year. And maybe 8 guys their senior year, man. So that they're freaking off in college. You know? They're doing God knows what. So by the time you get a woman, by the age of 25 to 30, more than likely, she has had at least maybe 10 husbands, man. 5 to 10 husbands. So our women are defiled, man. So the Most High has to make them submit. They got 4 guys paying their rent, 3 guys paying their gas and electric, 1 guy paying their nails, 1 guy paying for their hair, 1 guy paying for the abortion. You know? Let's read on. Right? Isaiah chapter 3 and verse. Yeah, the brother said that's the best case scenario. Yeah, I was being modest. Okay, so lucky. Let me get some light. Okay, this Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 18 again. And that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their cords and their round tires like the moon. And you got Eves and his truth who move in that same spirit, man. Right? I know I was being nice. Brother said you being nice. Yeah, I was being modest. I was being extremely modest. And, you know, sometimes you have women like that, but, you know, I was being polite. Let's read on. The bonnets and the ornaments and Slakia of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings. So you have sisters who are completely into accessories. They have to have the latest iPhone, the latest AirPods, you know, the latest Birkin bag, the latest purse, the high-end fashion this, designer that. And if they don't have that, hey, look, man, they'll throw a fit. They'll throw a temper tantrum. You have grown women that throw temper tantrums and fits because they can't get these fine things or get particular things that they want. So the woman now, they're finished. That's why Proverbs chapter 31, let's get that real quick, right? Proverbs 31, right? Proverbs 31, you got women, well, that's not me. Well, if this not you, you know, it's not you. This pertains into the daughters of Zion who exhibit these characteristics, right? Proverbs chapter 31 and 10, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. I've never seen a ruby. You can't just find a ruby. And I want to kind of expound on this. A lot of women, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. Why are there 10,000 Proverbs 31 women out there? How can there be so many Proverbs 31 women? You can't find a ruby. They don't even sell rubies. Jake, at the most, you got platinum. You might have gold, maybe cheap gold. You don't have no 18 karat. You don't have good gold. You may have silver, maybe some canary diamonds, you know, but you don't have these top end things. Even if you digged and digged and digged, you know how long it would take you to find a ruby and to price it out? So there can't be 10,000 daughters of Zion that are Proverbs 31 women, man. It's a rarity. That's what the Most High is saying. Now, do they exist? Yes. How do you know that you're one of them? Because you fit these characteristics. You can't be a Proverbs 31 woman and you don't respect your husband. You don't submit. Like I said, you got women that courting 5 guys at once, man. They might have had 3 husbands and, you know, they're about to commit adultery. Like the brother said, they got an OnlyFans and, you know, they're selling pictures of their body, or, you know, they don't take care of the house. All hell is breaking loose. They don't need a man. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 3. So there can't be 10,000 Proverbs 31 women, right? It's just impossible. Now, if you say that you're one of them, well, right? But we have to be honest with ourselves, right? And say, well, I'm working on it. I'm a Proverbs 31 woman in the making, right? I'm a Proverbs 31 woman in the making. I'm an aspiring Proverbs 31 woman. Because if you say that you're a Proverbs 31 woman, hey, you saying a lot. You saying a lot, and you're going to be held to a high standard. And when you go off, you're going to get the hammer put down on you by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because you have put yourself, the Lord said, unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And unto whom men have committed much, of them that will ask the more. In Luke the 12th chapter. So if you want to bear that title, hey, guess what, man? You got a lot you got to deal with. So let's go on to Isaiah chapter 3. Okay, Isaiah chapter 3, and let's read on where we left off. I want to get some light. Okay, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse. All these ornaments and accessories the Most High is going to remove. Isaiah 3 and 21. The rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel. That's all your outfits. You got these daughters of Zion, 10,000 pair of shoes, man. 4,000 changes of apparel. I don't wear those no more. I wore those last week. They have 1,000 clothes and they only wear maybe 6 of them, huh? Or they won't wear the same one twice. And if you don't buy them another one, hey, they'll have a fit. Or go find the man that will do it. And the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink. Let me read that again. Isaiah chapter 3 and 24. And this shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. And instead of well-set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. See that? So the Most High, let's break this down. What does this mean? And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink. Because when in the ancient world, when you had sieges, right? When you had sieges from the Babylonians, from the Assyrians, from the Romans, a lot of upkeeping that woman had, it was depleted. Resources ran out. Things were robbed, and they weren't able to upkeep themselves on a hygiene level, on a beauty level, and a lot of their flaws and blemishes were seen and they increased, But also, even in these days, in the days of Jacob's trouble, like I said, you're not going to have your deodorant, you're not going to have your body perfume and your Rihanna perfume and your Beyonce oils and whatever they have, man. You're going to stink. Just straight up and down. You're not going to have any chapstick, any lip balm, mascara, your eyebrow kit, your pencils, your brushes. Hey, women do a lot of things to their face, man. Lip gloss. Some women wear lipstick. They got different shades of it. Some women put like foundation on and their skin it was light, but now it was dark, but it was dark and it was light. Right? It's a lot of madness that goes on, man. They do stuff to make their eyes pop out, to make their lips look fuller and thicker. You're not going to have any of that, man. You're going to look just like how the Most High made you to look, man. And you're going to stink. Just straight up and down, everywhere. And instead of a girdle, now a girdle is when women wear dresses, right? It's not an actual girdle like Yahweh Shah had, but it's like a sash or something to hold your dress, keep your dress up. And they have beautiful girdles. When you read Proverbs 31, it tells you about that, different types of girdles. And instead of a girdle, it's going to be a rent. A rent is like a garment that's torn in pieces. And what it's saying is their beauty, again, is just going to be depleted, right? It's going to be completely shut down. You're not going to be walking around in Jacob's trouble with some damn expensive clothes on, man. And these men, hey, look, men is going to go back to that ancient primitive estate. Men is going to go back to that ancient primitive mind. Do you think these men out, I'm talking about the wicked men. Do you think these men out here, when all hell break loose, they're going to ask these women for their number? You know? You think they're going to play that game with you? Oh, I'm on first base. Oh boy, and I'm going to wait 2 weeks. Now I get on second base. This is how they think. This is their terminology. Okay, give me 1 month and I'm on third base. Do you think they're going to do that, man? You know? Hey, guess what? If you're not under the protection of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to get caught out there. And guess what? You're going to have to deal with it. We're going to see how many women in the world who say they don't need a man. Let's see how bad they need a man. When somebody's breaking in your house, when you stay in your apartment complex, man, you stay in your condominium, you live by yourself. Maybe you're some type of lawyer or some vice regional president, or, you work at the hair salon and you don't need a man, and it's just you and your girlfriends, and y'all go to the club and y'all freak off and, twerk on the table and pour liquor down each other's throat, and your homegirl might get hooked up with a dude, and you ask her the next day, how was it? And there's all types of madness going on, man. We'll see how those women fare in the days to come. And you women in this truth, man, who's not on fire and not diligent and who don't reverence your husbands, man. You're going to get caught out there. Let's read on. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men, it's like thy mighty in the war. So all these dudes, and these men, they're going to be in war, drafted, die in the days of evil, race wars. They may get drafted somewhere by the Valley of Jehoshaphat to fight against the Russians, to fight against the Chinese, to fight against the North Koreans, to fight against these kings of the East, man. So the men population is going to be decimated. So there's not going to be a lot of righteous men out there. Being a righteous man in the truth is going to be like gold. When you see these celebrities now, these guys like Drake or Floyd Mayweather, Jay-Z, Chris Browns, the Steph Currys, you got people that follow them, man, that stalk them. You got women that, when there's this documentary, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was about Magic Johnson. And Magic Johnson, back in the 80s, in the early 90s, when he was playing, he said around that time, he would go from, they travel in the NBA. You might be in LA, then you in San Antonio, then you might be in Detroit, then you might be in Philly. So when they're traveling, he said when he got to the hotels, there were at least 200 women just waiting for him. And they didn't want to play Scrabble. Neither did they want to play tic-tac-toe. Right? So and then he said these women fought to get past security. And if they got past security, they would be in a hotel lobby. right? And if they were zealous, they would fight past the security and find out where these guys stayed at, man, a hotel room. And they would be by their door. And he said the boldest of them would get a key to the door and be in their hotel room when they open up the door. You know? Why? Because these women, they didn't find, I'll tell you something, man. These women didn't find Magic Johnson attractive. They don't find Jay-Z, Floyd. They're not attracted to them. They're attracted to what they have. They're attracted to money. They're attracted to power. They feel secure. They feel protected financially. They feel protected physically. And that's why they're with those women, man. So they were selling their bodies in exchange for security and protection. That was their psyche. They left it all. And they were willing. A lot of these women, man, they had husbands. When you watch that documentary, these women had husbands. They had men at home. And they would, I got to fly out of town. They was flying out of town. And Jay-Z, I think this was the Magic Johnson documentary again. He said married women was leaving their husbands and going to these mansions where Magic Johnson and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper is having these parties, and they'd be married freaking off, man. And they'll drive back home to their husbands, you know, and do God knows what. Because women of the world, and it's a thing, right? They want to feel loved. They want to feel protected. They want to feel secure. So let's see what's going to happen when these men of war fall by the sword. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now that 7 women is not literal. We know 7 biblically, pursuant to Joshua chapter 6, 3-4, Leviticus chapter 4 and 7, dealing with the number 7, Psalms chapter 12 and 6, and many other precepts show that the number 7 is used as a spiritual number, meaning completion or perfection. So when it says 7 women, that can be 10, it can be 15, it can be 3, it can be 2, it can be 25. There's no telling. But we know in the days to come, these top end celebrities and these guys, they're not going to be worth anything. The Most High is going to put the spirit on the women to recognize that the men of the Lord are the chief commodity on the earth. The men of the Lord are going to be more valuable than gold. Because women now, they may see it, they got these guys that do these skits and these clips on YouTube, man. They'll walk past a woman and say, hey, how you doing, whatever. And the woman will ignore them, man. But then this guy, he'll walk to some fancy car he got. He may have like a Ferrari or a Benz or, you know, maybe some type of Bugatti. He'll get in this car and the woman that just ignored him, they'll walk to him and say, hey, is this your car? You know, hey, where are we going? Hey, can I get in? You know, I was just playing. Because, you know, their mind ain't right. And this is what they are attracted to. This is what they want. That's the game. That's the hustle. That's the deal. But guess what, man? They look down upon you men of the Lord, man. You men of the Lord, guess what? Right now, hey, you're racist. You're a bug out to these women. You know, you might not have no money, man, because you're not working on the Sabbath. You might not be willing to do to prosper compared to what these other people are willing to do. These guys that are making it big, they're willing to do things that you just won't compromise for, man. And for that, you're not going to be on their level. So they look down upon you, man. You're reading the Bible. To them, that's a white man's book. It's a book of fables. It's a book of a man and a boat, and he took the animals on there, and, you know, it was a flood, and, you know, you're a nobody, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 4, right? You're the filth of the world to these women, man. What's that on the bottom of your shirt? You're a joke. You're boring. You keep trying to read the Bible to them. They don't want to hear the Bible, man. You know, they want to do God knows what. You read the Bible. You talking about what's your nationality? Hey, sis, you know, they don't want to hear that. You think these women of the world want to hear, hey, sis, what's your nationality? No, they want to know where the money at, where the bottles at, where the weed is at, how they could get money, and how they could benefit off of you, man. You know? And make it in this man's world. They looking to make it here, man. They're not looking to know their nationality. You know? They looking to do God knows what. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 4. And again, we're speaking to the ungodly woman, the ungodly. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and 9. For I think that God hath set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. So we're a joke. That word spectacle goes back to the word theater. It's like a game to them, huh? But those days are temporary, right? Those days are temporary, man. Let's jump down. Verse 13. I'm going to start at 12. Boy, this whole thing is good, man. Verse 10. We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but ye are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Yeah, you're not going to be having a red carpet, man. You don't have a walk of fame. You may not have 10,000 followers and be famous or have the fanciest car or have the best housing situation. And, you may not have what the world esteems, man. Hey, right now, the type of men that the world puts on a pedestal, Salakia, are Negroes, man, niggas. Just straight up and down. Rappers, drug dealers. They asked these women, they took a survey. I don't know if they was in Brooklyn or they was in Philly or, they went somewhere and they asked women, would you rather be with a scammer? Here's what they asked. Would you rather be with a scammer? If you know what a scammer is, you can look it up. Would you rather be with a scammer that makes $10,000 a month, right? Or would you rather be with a guy that works 9 to 5 and he makes $5,000 a month and he's an honest guy and he's an upright guy? Don't you know these women said they want to be with a scammer? They want to be with a nigga. They said it out their mouth, man. Hey, some of the women start twerking to the sound of it. Hey, some of the women, they stuck their tongue out and said, yeah, I'm going to get this money, whatever. So this is what they esteem. Rappers, money makers, hustlers, grinders in this man's world. They don't want the grinders of Yahweh Bashmi Abashai. Let's read on. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. And you got brothers, they may not have a lot of money, man. They might be in this truth, and they might have a lot of wisdom, but they might, be on hard times, may have like a 1-bedroom, and, they might have a car that really don't make it. It's probably like a '01 or, '04, and, women are laughing at them, and their car's damn shaking, and, they might be at the bus stop, but these men fear the Most High. These are the elect men. But women, they're not looking at you like that, man. And labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it. Being defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. So right now, what an offscouring, man. Don't you know, I'll put it like this. If these women knew the truth, let's say every woman on the earth right now, listen to what I'm saying. If every woman on the earth right now, which we know it's not possible, according to the Moses prophecies and judgments and foreknowledge, if every woman on the earth knew the prophecies, knew the destruction coming to the earth, and knew that the Israelite man was a king and priest, and knew that he was a way to bring them to the Most High, don't you know that you would be the most wanted man by these women on the earth, man? Hey, look, they'll stalk you, man. They will follow you home. If they saw your fringes, they'll be like, hey, look, they'll do anything. But these days are coming on the earth, man, where women are going to recognize, the daughters of Zion, that the servants of the Lord is pretty much their golden ticket out, man. Now, you're going to have single sisters that make it too. But those women know that they know the order that the Most High set up. Not every woman that's going to make it is going to be a married sister. You're going to have single sisters. We get it. That's prophecy. Right? When you read Jeremiah 30 and Jeremiah 31. But those women that are single, hey, the Most High didn't give them a husband according to his counsel. But they understand the order. And if they had one, they would fear their husbands. Or fear the Lord by reverencing their husbands, should I say. Right? So let's go to Isaiah 4. Let's finish that. Actually, let's go to Isaiah chapter 32. Right? Isaiah chapter 32. Right? Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 1. Right? It reads, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. And a man, that's an Israelite man, shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, and as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So a man is going to be a protection, right? He's going to be their protection when all hell break loose, man. Why? Because the Most High is working with the Israelite man. You got, boy, that sounds sexist. That's the most. You have daughters in this truth too. If somebody says that, then they don't understand the spirit of what I'm saying. We know that the Most High, and that's that feminist. You got a lot of feminists in this truth, man. They get offended when we read verses like this. They get offended or they get cut, because deep down they're really feminists, man. Well, what about Deborah? What about Miriam? We know that. But your insecurities and lack of submissiveness is compelling you to bring that out, because that's the first thing on your mind. Not Khan. That's a beautiful scripture. I want to submit to my husband and I want to fear the Lord. That's what you should say when this verse come out. The first thing that shouldn't come to your mind is, what about Judith? What about Esther? What about so-and-so? That means your mind ain't right. And guess what? More than likely, you're not going to make it, man. Because you're not thinking spiritually. You're thinking of the world. Those are the thoughts of a worldly woman with a dress on and a head wrap. But a righteous woman is going to hear that and say, okay, Khan, especially if she's married, man, let me make sure I fear the Lord. Let me tighten up. Let me examine myself. This is what the Most High said. Oh, I need to fast. I need to pray. Hey, the single sister that hears this, wow, man, I wish I had a husband, man. Lord willing, the Most High give me a husband, but if not, I'ma still fear the Lord and pray the Most High has mercy on me. I know I can make it anyway, through his mercy and through grace. So a man is going to be a hiding place from the destruction, right? These these women of the world, man, they're not going to be out there in the wilderness attacking bears and fighting off bears. They're scared of roaches, spiders, mice, you know? They're screaming at insects. They don't know what's going on. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13. We're going to get a few more, right? My time was already up, but, you know, hey, guess what, man? It is what it is, right? Isaiah chapter 13. I'm going to get a few more and I'm going to wind down. So don't put your head down, oh, you men of the Lord, man. The days draw nigh when the Most High is going to, hey, the Lord said in Zephaniah chapter 3, at 15 on down, that I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So you're going to get your praise, man. You're going to get your fame on the earth, man. You're going to be recognized as a king. You're going to be respected as a man of the Lord. You're going to be respected as a priest, man. Hey, these women ain't going to be trying to hit you or, you know, deny you or talk, you know what about you, man, and say, I don't want to deal with no man of the Lord. I want to deal with real and damn Tyrone and Dre. They're going to look to you, man, and understand that the Most High is working directly with you. Right? Isaiah, you got a lot of brothers. Oh, man, deep women so. Hey, brother, hey, look, just focus on the Most High, man. Just focus on the Most High, and you'll get your reward in due time, which is the kingdom. Okay, Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. No man has ever seen a golden wedge of Ophir. It's more rare than a ruby. You can see a ruby, but you will never... People don't even know where Ophir technically is, man. Well, maybe it's Yemen, maybe it's this, maybe it's... There's really... People have a hard time pinpointing geographically where Ophir is. Not only that, extracting gold from that location. Pure gold. So the gold of Ophir was defined as gold. That's how you brothers are going to be, man. You brothers that are diligent, keeping the faith, teaching the nation, building up your households, praying fast and studying the scriptures, teaching sound doctrine, loving the Most High, loving Yahweh Shai, your house is in order. You're going to be like the golden wedge of Ophir. You're going to be like Denzel Washington in the book of Eli, man. Because you're going to have the secrets. You're the only ones on the earth that know what's happening. And you have the answers. You're going to be the only ones with the answers. You're going to be the only ones that know what's going on, man. Why the earth is at its confused state. Why there are bombs dropping. Why the economy's collapsing. Why the world is sinking. You're the only ones on the earth that know the deal. And you got the answers. And the Most High is going to put the spirit on these women to recognize that you're that guy. You're that guy now. You're him. That's how they say. Hey, you're him now, man. You know? So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 4. Right? Isaiah chapter 4. So brothers, have some self-esteem, man. Don't be proud, but have some honor, some dignity. Hey, the Lord said, in all thy works, keep to thyself the preeminence. You know, and leave not a stain in your honor. Recognize that you have been created by the Most High to be a God on the earth. The Lord also said in Psalm chapter 82, arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Walk like a king, think like a king, move like a king, man. And the hell with these wicked women, man. Fear the Most High. Reverence his son, kiss the son lest he be angry, keep the charge of the Lord, and you'll receive your reward in due time, man. You know? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 4. Well, brother, what about my this woman and she did this to me? Hey, the Most High is going to get up with her, man. The Most High is going to get up with these wicked women. You just keep focusing on the Most High. Right? The Most High could take that wicked woman away from you and replace her with a righteous woman, man. Stop putting these women as the Most High. What is wrong with you, man? Well, brother, she gives birth unto man. Well, brother, without her, there would be no life because she's the mother earth, brother. Do you see what I'm saying? Because when she what? Hey, those type of brothers, guess what? Those brothers ain't going to make it. Those brothers are going to be cut down, man. Those effeminate men. Right? Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1 again. Right? And in that day, this may be my last precept. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Now, the law says in Exodus 21 and 10 that a man is supposed to provide these things for his wife. It says if a man take another wife, her duties of marriage, her food and raiment shall he not diminish, paraphrasing. So he's supposed to take care of these wives, man, and treat them equally. He's obligated to. These women understand that they're willing to risk it all and not be protected financially by this man, just cleave unto him, hoping he could lay down with him and they could bear his name and be saved, man, through this man. You know? Only let us be called by thy name, meaning, look, you're going to have to lay with you. Because your woman takes on your name. Just straight up and down. Right? Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones. Mr. Johnson and Mrs. She bears his name. And literally, that's carnally, marriage, but also spiritually. She picks up that man's spirit. She starts talking like that man. She might start, wearing his clothes. She want to wear a sweater around the house, or, maybe his button up around, or she might pick up some of his lingo or start liking what he like, and because she's picking up his spirit. She might start watching the big game with him. She might get into it and say, hey, that's your favorite player, or I like that guy, and are they playing defense or offense? And she might start getting into certain things, man, that you're into, because guess what? She's bearing your name now. Like we bear the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We're into righteousness. We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So it's going to be a reproach. If a woman doesn't have any protection out there, it's going to be bad for them, man. Right? So hopefully, you brothers don't trip. You don't fret. You keep your spirit up. Hopefully you righteous daughters of Zion continually reverence your husbands, fear the Lord, and understand how important the man of the Lord is, man. Because without the man of the Lord, you're going to be caught out there, man. Because the Most High is working with these men in the last days, man. He's working with apostles, prophets, teachers. They're set up to teach the nation. They're the future government of the Most High. They're literally kings and priests on the earth. And without them, through the spirit of the Most High, there wouldn't be this mass awakening going on, man. So stand strong, brothers, and you sisters that were thinking about going off and being worldly and doing God knows what and not submitting to your husband, and you better get right now, man, because the days draw nigh when the Most High is going to jam you up. So with that, I'm going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. Ba'Shem Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Most High willing you were edified. Kwam Yashalom.